Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Stern Spiel, a weekly podcast where a dad and a daughter sit down and talk about all things happening in pop culture, politics, and in our personal lives. Welcome back to the show, Dad.
Hello, Veronica. I'm Charlie Stern at New Charlie Stern.
And I'm Veronica at Veronica Stern.
Yeah.
We also have an Instagram account for the podcast, but, we might... I'm thinking about cutting that.
Okay. Why it's not, people aren't really looking at that?
It's just like I post the clips on my personal thing and like it's good enough.
Right. They're good enough. They do very, very well. The clip does better than the podcast.
Well, yeah. So, I'm excited for today's episode because we have a lot to talk about. There's so much happening in the world. We're not going to talk about politics today, so give everybody a little break. But we are going to talk about two different things. The Emmys that were this past Sunday. There's still some things that are coming out about them that we want to discuss. And we're also going to talk about Jordan Chiles and the new developments in her bronze medal fiasco. But before we get into that, is there anything else that's going on?
We will talk about politics a little bit because I think that Jordan Chiles situation has social and political implications.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It always comes back to the politics.
Yes.
I just want to say one thing. Last week's episode did really well, and we just want to thank everybody that watched it and enjoyed it and gave feedback. It helps us so much because it just, then it's just not our own brains that are watching it and coming up with the ideas.
Right. A heartfelt thanks. I'm really surprised that the performance last week was fantastic. This is turning out to be basically a YouTube channel. There is some visibility with the podcast. Some of you are listening to podcast audio only.
Yeah.
Right? So that's not something we want to ignore. If you happen to be listening and it's a podcast, it would mean a lot to us if you would leave a comment, which can be as simple as clicking comment and clicking the stars.
That's on Spotify.
That's on Spotify, and Apple Podcast has a comment.
Oh, do they?
Also, I believe so.
I've never been on Apple Podcasts, so I have no idea.
Yeah. So most people listen on Apple Podcasts, to podcasts.
All right.
But anyway, follow, leave us a comment, and go ahead, Veronica. I'm with you.
Let's get right into this.
I'm listening. It's like Frasier Crane, which that show's back too.
What?
Yeah, so...
No, what's Frasier Crane?
Frasier Crane is the character Frasier from the TV show Frasier, which was a spin-off from Cheers, and there's a remake of it now.
I've never seen that. All right, let's talk about gymnastics. So, this summer was obviously the 2024 Paris Olympics. It was a really great summer of the Olympics. I think this was one of the best Olympics I've ever watched, but there was some controversy that came out. Do you know about it?
The Jordan Chiles situation? Yeah. Of course.
Okay, so basically, just to catch everybody up, if you live under a rock or something, and I'm sorry, no, I shouldn't say that. I should normalize people not knowing things about culture. Sorry, we did get a comment about that this week. So maybe you don't know about it because you don't watch the news or something. Okay, anyways.
In other words, don't be a popular culture snob.
Yes. Jordan Chiles won bronze. I believe it was in floor. And I apologize for not doing better research, but it was in floor. She won bronze. The girl from, what was the other country?
I think it was an Eastern European country.
It was some Eastern European country.
Yeah.
She thought she was going to win bronze, and then at the last second, Jordan's coach put an inquiry in that said, I don't think that you, basically to put it in layman's terms, I don't think you graded her based on her difficulty, and her score should definitely be higher.
Mm-hmm.
So they did an inquiry. They realized they didn't score her correctly. That brought Jordan's score up from 5th to 3rd, right, and putting her in the bronze. And we all just thought, okay, great, it's done. Then I believe it was pretty quickly after the gymnastics Olympic, International
right.
Olympic Committee,
yep,
IOC, was like, yeah, no, the team from the Eastern European country has disputed this, and we are going to take Jordan's medal away because we don't believe that the inquiry was made within the timeline that is standard.
Mm-hmm.
So they took her medal away. They did. So I also want to make note, the team from the Eastern European country was like, no, give it to us both. Jordan can have her medal and our player can have hers. And it was like, well, then, what's the point here? You're just embarrassed.
Right.
So all's to say, all is to say, I'm sorry, I'm looking up what the hell the other team was. There's been some new developments. Last night when I was on TikTok, they released the footage. And this is very important. So the rule is that the inquiry has to be made 1 minute after the score comes out.
Within 1 minute.
Within 1 minute. And the argument was that they were like 1 minute and 3 seconds.
Uh-huh.
And everyone was like, this is actually crazy.
Right.
I think the girl was from Switzerland. Yeah. Oh, no, Romanian.
Romanian, right.
Okay,
I was
that
right.
makes
It is Eastern European country. All right, so go ahead.
So, to make a long story short, they released the video with the timestamp of her coach saying at 1 minute and 50 seconds, I'd like to put an inquiry in for Jordan. Like, you can hear her coach say it.
In under 1 minute.
In under 1 minute.
Right.
55 seconds.
55 seconds, under 1 minute. He is clearly asking for a review of this decision.
Yes.
And so let me say
even
something
repeat
at this
themselves.
right. And let me say something at this point. This is a key thing. When this thing first happened, I was aware of it, and I didn't understand all the particulars. I certainly didn't understand the technical requirements. But the first thing that went through my head is, at the level these people are performing, Veronica, they're every muscle group, every move they make, the planning that goes into something like this, I thought to myself, it's illogical that a team that's supporting this person would fail to make a inquiry outside of the technical requirement. In other words, it just seemed like too big a mistake for an entire team to make.
No,
it seemed illogical, and it was illogical because they did make their inquiry in time.
So the fascinating thing about this is that there's so much more than just this Romanian person thinking that it's so much more than just like her getting her medal taken away. Of course, Jordan Chiles is outside of the norm of what gymnastics has been in the past, right? Her personality, her demeanor. So there are implicit racist underlyings in this whole thing.
Of course.
And I think we should discuss that. I think
what it does is it exposes what's really going on with the committee, with the sport, with the so-called sportsmanship, and what really goes on behind the scenes is the same thing that goes on at every level of our society.
Yeah. And I think the saddest thing is I saw Jordan do an interview with, it was at the Times building in New York City, and they said, like, what's been the most difficult part about this? And she said, I don't care about the medal. I don't care about it getting taken away from me. It's how I've been treated through all of this. And how she thought that she was going to be protected by people that said that they would protect her, and then realizing she's not going to get protected. And it's the tale as old as time.
That's the whole thing. This is emblematic of what people are experiencing on a daily basis in the most routine aspects of life. But here's somebody who's at the pinnacle of her career, the top of her game, literally the top of the sport, and performing at the level of number one in an international event. But she's unfortunately experiencing the same garden variety racism that African American people deal with, whether they're getting on the bus, going to a job, applying for a loan, or whatever they're doing. It's like this is the stain of racism. It's got all over it.
And I think there's racism embedded in every sport. I mean, I don't think there's a sport where it's like doesn't have a disgusting past, but specifically gymnastics. The implications of this happening, because it's what it is we see the Simone Biles, right? And everybody respects Simone, and everybody loves her, and everybody reveres her. And then you have somebody that is literally on her team, right? Mm-hmm. Jordan Chiles. And this is how she's treated, right? It's just...
So are you trying to say that Simone Biles is sort of like the honorary white that people have put all of their energy into? And then so there's a number two, and she's black?
I think so.
And that's what's going on. Because I
think
think
so.
that might be what's going on here.
I think that it's some of that, and it's also Jordan. I hate to say this. I hate to say this because Simone Biles is not whitewashed. But I think that people may look at her and think, oh, that's our ideal black person.
That's it. So what you're saying, different words, white people have adopted Simone Biles. They haven't adopted Jordan Chiles.
Yes.
So I think that's what's going on. Now, the one thing that occurred to me also about this whole thing is when it happened, it was like, sorry, but we can't reverse our decision and give you back the gold medal because well, no, she got bumped down, right?
No, she was in. Wait, are you talking about the Romanian person or Jordan?
I'm talking about. I thought the whole thing is Jordan won the gold and got bumped down to bronze.
No, so she was in 5th place, got bumped up to 3rd,
right?
Which took the other girl down to 4th, which she had the bronze, and then she got it. She didn't get it.
Okay, so this whole thing's an argument over bronze.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, we can't reconsider the taking away of the bronze medal because of this technicality. Now, there's nothing wrong with technicalities. Like the sport is nothing but technical. It's all technical. It's how you land.
It's technical.
Did you do this
so
and did you turn your head and did you lean forward when you landed? There's so much technical that we can't even capture all of it.
Right.
So I'm not complaining that there was an issue with the technicality. What occurred to me is there's an issue with the technicality. And it sure looks like you're clean because your team did challenge inside of the technical limitation, but we still can't give you back what you're due because we don't do that.
Yeah.
I heard some of that, and I don't like that. It has a terrible look. And in my opinion, the international or the IOC or whatever the standards
Olympic
body
Committee
is that's going to surround the Olympics, I think they are going to take a very long time to live that down. They may not care, but in the eyes of a lot of people, particularly in America, particularly people of color, they're going to always look at that like this is just like every other institution that I've had to face.
Oh, yeah. So the whole thing in general, we'll have to see how it plays out. But at this point with this video, with the timestamps, I don't know what you could possibly argue that the Olympic Committee was correct.
Well, there's only two ways out. Either they put back the bronze or they live with it the way that it is, and there will be a stain on that sport forever.
I think it's the latter. And well, I mean, Jordan is already bouncing back. Like in America, there's no question mark of like what has happened. And I do think that there is some respect with the Romanian people because they were like, we don't want her to be taken away. Like, we just want our girl to have it as well. But it all just plays into this everlasting question of
there's only one right way.
Much.
There's only one right way to fix this. It's to put that bronze back in her hands, and that's it. And take it away from the person who didn't win it in the first place. They just need to reverse it.
That's so stupid.
They need to reverse the reversal. And if they don't do that, it will take a very, very long time for people to reverse the cloud that will hang over this sport.
And Jordan is going to have an amazing book one day. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, but what if you're not Jordan Chiles? What if you just experienced this kind of problem and you don't have a videotape proving that it happened, and you don't have a team of lawyers, and you don't have a very professionalized group of people surrounding you to help you straighten it out? You know, what do you do in that situation? You dust yourself off and you move on to the next thing, and that's why racism is a poisonous and sickening thing for a lot of people. Anyway.
So on a lighter note, this week was the 74th annual Emmy Awards, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's confusing for a lot of people because of the strike, the last Emmys was pushed to, I believe, January or something. So we have actually had 2 Emmy Awards this year.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So a lot of people are like, why is this nominated and not that?
And why did this happen? Because of the strike?
Because of the strike. So last year, I believe they decided to push. So it's always supposed to be in September.
I get it.
Last September, they were like, we have nothing to do because everything is messed up now. So let's just push it to February.
Got it.
And then Sorry, I hit the mic.
Keep going.
Okay. So they pushed it to February, and then they were like, no, but we're going to try to stay on track and stay on schedule.
I see.
So we're going to do the regular Emmys in September, and everything is just going to be a little messed up.
So we're caught up now.
So we're caught up, I think. I'm still like not entirely sure, but I think next year there's going to be so many things. But let's focus on this year. A few big things happened this year. What do you want to start with? Let's
The Bear.
The Bear?
Yeah.
So this is a question that I think has been out since The Bear started.
All right. You know why I want to start with The Bear?
Why?
Because it's really the only show that I've seen that was nominated.
Well, that's another thing I was going to say. Like, I was watching the Emmys and I was like, I don't think I've seen any of these shows. Like, literally, I don't. I watch TV, but I guess I'm not watching that.
I didn't see Shogun.
No.
I didn't see any of these shows, but I have seen a few episodes of The Bear.
But you've watched Abbott Elementary.
Abbott Elementary, I've seen. I don't know if I saw an Abbott Elementary in the past 12 months.
I don't know if I watched this season that was nominated.
But that's what I'm saying. But I have seen the show.
All right, so let's talk about this. Is The Bear a comedy? That is the age-old question.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not?
No.
Okay, so this is interesting. So they actually, I believe it was Entertainment Tonight. Did you watch the video I sent you?
No.
Okay. So they asked people on the red carpet, is The Bear a comedy? And the answers were very interesting. A lot of people were trying to be politically correct.
Right.
And like the woman from Hacks was like, well, I think like I think it's like, yeah, it's a comedy. And then some people were like, no, like it does not make me laugh. So I guess the question is, does a comedy have to make you laugh to be a comedy?
Yeah.
You think so?
If it's not funny, then what? It's not a very good comedy.
So another argument is that
I'm just a kind of simple person in that respect. Yeah, I've watched The Bear. It's a drama. It's a dramatization of family life in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if it was a comedy, there would be comic relief, there would be slapstick, there would be physical humor, but there's I don't see it. I mean, maybe it's whatever you want to see. I think they categorized it as a comedy for the purposes of improving its eligibility for certain awards, and so it's a stretch.
All right, so this is what I'm going to say. I looked up what the definition of a comedy is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I shouldn't read it off of Wikipedia, but I'm reading off Wikipedia. A comedy is a film genre that emphasizes humor. These films are designed, or TV shows are designed to amuse audiences and make them laugh. So people essentially feel that a comedy should make you laugh, and nobody thinks The Bear makes them laugh.
No, I don't think The Bear is a drama, man. It's like ER. Doesn't make you laugh.
Yeah,
it's cringe in some respects. I don't see it.
It's cringe.
I want to move on and talk about one specific winner, which is Liza Colon-Zayas.
I
right?
have so much more to say.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You know what?
It's not a comedy. Now. It's not a comedy. Liza Colon-Zayas. I think I saw the episodes with her that caused her to get that award.
What?
And she's very, very talented. Apparently, I looked her up. Liza Colon-Zayas plays she works in the restaurant. And apparently she had to train with a chef in order to understand some of the moves. She is a very, very prolific actress. Apparently she's got a really long resume. She's been in lots of movies, television. I think there's theater on her resume. Super talented person. And this is like the world of Hollywood and entertainment. She's been out there for decades doing this stuff. Mm-hmm. We never heard of her. She got this role. Boom. It's like magic. It's like magic. And she's obviously extremely talented and deserving of the awards. That's all I got for her.
Is she a comedic actress?
I didn't see any of that on her resume, but there may be some of it. I don't know.
All right. Well, I wanted to say some more things about comedy and television, but now I feel like I've been silenced.
No, you haven't been silenced. Why don't you go ahead and say those things?
I mean, I was going to say, like, there's obviously some weird political thing that they did to make it a comedy, but I think what the reason why they say The Bear is a comedy is because it commentates, and it's a what's the word when something, it's a heightened version of this life and this person, right? It's a heightened version of it. So I think where the comedy, the quote unquote comedy comes in, is the fact that they have heightened this scenario and have made it kind of slapsticky in the way that they yell at each other and they talk to each other, and the way that, I think his name is Carmi, right? The way that he interacts with people. So I think that's how they get away with it.
So exaggeration is a comedic trick.
Exactly. I think the use of exaggeration is how they get away with calling it a comedy.
It's a stretch.
It's a stretch, but I think what this year proved is that so the reason why it won so many awards in February is because there was literally nothing else up against it. Like Hacks, which is the show that's obviously a comedy, is back in the category this year because season.
Never saw Hacks.
And that's a proper comedy. So, I think it showed people that, like, there you go, like a real comedy's in the thing now, and so a real comedy is.
Let me ask you a question. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
We're not talking about that.
That's an exaggeration. Is it a comedy?
That is comedy. Everybody's laughing at it.
Okay. All right. Well, then we brought politics into the show and kept it relevant to the Emmys.
So, speaking of using comedy when it's necessary, let's talk about Jimmy Kimmel's Bob Newhart send-off.
Yeah, so
did you watch it?
I watched the playback of it.
Yeah, me too.
And I read some of the commentary about it. It's not worth a lot of time on this podcast. Then
why did you write it down on the outline?
Because it speaks to the question of comedy. And one of the things about comedians is they're very, very mean to each other. That's a part of the gig. Isn't
that what The Bear is? They're mean to each other on that show.
I'm talking about a different thing. I'm talking about when Sinbad makes jokes about another comedian, which I've heard, or in this case, Jimmy Kimmel was sort of doing a memorial to Bob Newhart and made fun of him, but the guy's dead.
No, I don't think that's the part that people had a problem with. I think they had a problem with the fact that, like, the in memoriam was done, and then Jimmy Kimmel came out and was like, and the Emmy Award for the dead person that will miss the most goes to Bob Newhart. And everyone in the audience was like, ooh, like, that's a little, like, icky.
But that's what comedians do.
So, but was the Emmys the place for that?
Yes. Yes.
Who is Bob Newhart?
So Bob Newhart was a comedian from the 1970s. He had a popular TV show called The Bob Newhart Show, and his style was super dry. It was like deadpan, dry humor. People loved him. It was never really my cup of tea. I think he was on after the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and maybe that's why he got super popular. That's about as much as I can tell you about Bob Newhart. What I find more interesting is that people reacting to Jimmy Kimmel, but he was doing what he always does, which is, aligned with the world of comedians and
comedy.
We didn't do it all in this episode, Veronica. What's going on with you? What did you do this week?
Oh, that doesn't matter now.
We're not going to do that? Okay, let's play the game.
So this is Guess That Celebrity, Emmys edition. And I have chosen a few photographs. We'll see how you do. And let's play. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Name that celebrity.
Selena Gomez.
Period. Okay, we're starting easy.
That is not Martin Short, but the other guy that he performs with on the show about the murders in the building.
You don't know?
It's oh my God, his name is escaping me right now.
I was not expecting this.
I need Nariva.
What's Nariva?
I don't remember the guy's name. Oh my God.
The name is in the other name. Oops. His name is in the other guy's name.
Steve Martin.
There you go. All right. Well, I thought that was going to be an easy one, but let's go to number 3.
That is the woman from Friends, Jennifer Aniston.
Yes. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, okay. Her name starts with an E. It's like Eberly Zibley or something. I don't remember. And she's from The Bear, and I don't remember
her name's Io.
Io, okay.
Adebri.
I
think that's how you pronounce it.
So I had the E part right.
All right. Let's see if you know this person.
That's the guy from Abbott Elementary, and I don't know his name.
Tyler James Williams.
Tyler James Williams.
From Everybody Hates Chris. All right, 2 more.
Okay.
Let's see if you know who this person is.
I do not know that person's name, but I definitely have watched the show that he is on. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he also on a show? Wait a second. He was on a show with this woman from Queens, this comedian. Aquafina. He was on that show with,
I think so.
With Aquafina. I don't
What
remember
other
his
show
name.
is he on?
I really don't remember.
SNL?
Oh, he's on Saturday Night Live. Okay, I didn't.
It's
I didn't
Bowen
remember.
Yang.
Didn't know.
Also has a very popular podcast called Las Culturistas. All right.
Of course he does.
The second
Everybody's
to last,
got a very popular podcast. And soon we will too.
Second to last one.
I can't remember his full name. Jeremy something or other.
Yeah.
And he's the bear.
Good enough. Jeremy Allen White. And our last one. Let's see if you can get this.
Oh, man, I'm having difficulty now.
I'll give you a hint. He's not from a TV show. He's from something that happened this summer.
Oh, this is driving me crazy now. Can you give me a little more?
Okay, I'll give you another hint. He is a gymnast.
Okay, yeah, he was in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And they called him Superman.
Yes.
And he was a gymnast.
Okay, I'll tell you who it is. It's Steven Nedorozic.
Okay, wouldn't ever remember.
So that leads me to the final thing I want to say today, which is Dancing with the Stars finally starts tonight. I'm so excited. I know you're not really a big Dancing with the Stars watcher.
Okay.
But there's a lot of things this season on Dancing with the Stars that are very exciting. We have 2 Olympic athletes, him, Steven Nedorozic, and Ilona Maher. Do you know Ilona?
No.
Yeah, you're not really on social media, so like you wouldn't know her. Do you know who Anna Delvey is?
Excuse me, I'm on plenty of social media. I'm just not in the same corners of it that you are all the time.
Okay. Do you know who Anna Delvey is?
No.
She is she's this con artist who had she didn't have a Netflix TV show, but like they made a Netflix TV show about her, and she'll be dancing with a ankle monitor on.
Because what'd she do?
She's on house arrest
for
being a con artist, I think,
yeah,
or like trying to like flee the country or something.
To me, that is a downgrade of American culture, right? You should not be on Dancing with the Stars with an ankle bracelet. That's problematical.
Okay, here's somebody you might know. Carl Winslow. That ring any bells?
Can you give me a little more?
Reggie from Family Matters.
No.
Yeah, okay. I honestly don't know who that is either.
Absence of recognition.
Carl Winslow? Is that like a person? I don't even know. What's his name? Carl Winslow? This guy?
Don't know him.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought that that would be the person you know. Trying to think if there's anybody else that you maybe would know. No. All right. Well, that starts tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if we'll be recapping it. That was our episode for today. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and comment and follow, whatever you really want to do at this point.
And leave us a comment. And in your comment, if you can, say like a podcast that you like listening to, because I'm curious what people who listen to our stuff are also listening to. Like, we're getting inserted in the suggested column in YouTube, and I don't exactly understand. If you look on the analytics, you can see But I don't see exactly why we would be suggested. So if you can put in there, what you listen to and what's of interest to you on YouTube, on podcasts, that would be tremendously helpful.
Awesome. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.